In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up to make some of the different parts you may need in your drawing machine. So open up RDWorks. We are presuming that you have already done your cogs. So File, Import. Just going to zoom out. I'm just going to separate these apart a little bit. Now, one of the easiest ways that you can create some sort of different effect is by to get a cog and just cut a section off it. So click on the cog, click on this one here which is going to show the vertex points. I'm going to zoom in, then I'm going to take a section off here so it won't engage on the other cog. Then I'm going to click on this -1 and delete those nodes. I want to just take those off as well. Now that is done. I'll click back to the main cursor. I will group these two parts so in case I move it. So that was clicking on that one, hold down the shift key, and I can group them, or you can just go like that, edit, group. Now another thing you can do is make a cam. So I want to end up with a cam. Click on the circle, hold down the control. I want my cam so that it's set up so it's approximately the same size as that cog there. Hold the control and I'm just going to stretch that out a bit. Okay, now I need to have a center hole in that, so I'm going to create another circle. Shift key, control key, sorry. I need to make that 4 millimeters. I'm just going to move that closer. I'm going to lock that padlock and change that to 4. And that's done both of them. I'll just unlock that. And then I'm going to click on both of them. So I click on this circle as well. So with the shift key, so I've got both of them. Then I'm going to align them. So click on align there and align vertically. I'll group those together. I won't group them yet. Then I'm going to get this one, I'm going to stretch it out. So I'll go to get the vertex points or the nodes, click on that one there, and I'm stretching it out. Might want to make this cam a little bit fatter. So I'm just going to pull on that. If you can change the shape, but if you pull it straight down, it'll just make the end a little bit rounder. And now I'll group those together. Edit, group. So those center lines line up. And as that would rotate, if that was a full cog, that would end up moving another cog away, so that it would disengage as well. So that's a cam. You could also just make a circle. So click on there, control, and you can make that whatever size it needs to be. For instance, it potentially would be one that would be in relation to that, be the same size as the inner circle there. So I'll move the cam down. In this position, the cam isn't touching the circle which is attached to the gear, but as it rotates, it's going to push the gear away and then it will disengage. So what I'm going to do so you can see that clearer, I'm just going to import another cog. We'll zoom out, move this down out of the way. Going to delete that one, group these together. So this one here could actually, that circle there could be a bit bigger. But what basically happens is as that rotates around in this part, it's allowing these two gears to engage. But as that rotates around, it would end up pushing this cog away. It would end up disengaging this gear that was moving an arm on your drawing machine. And then as it rotated around further, it would then allow this cog to slowly come back into engagement, which would then drive that gear around. Right, we'll just add a hole to this one so it can be attached to a frame for your drawing machine. So I'll draw another circle, control, make that 4mm, make sure we'll lock it. Shift key, got them both, align them. Now this is ready to set up so that we can prepare it for laser cutting. So we'll just arrange these so the alignment is better. So I'll just group that together, edit group. Okay, so once you've done that, we need to put a box around it. So I'm going to click on the rectangle tool. And as before, we need to change that color. I think we had that on blue. You can add your initials. We'll just do 1. So you're going to put that in every one, and we'll just repeat that process like before. Click on that and we'll just get it sized so it's a more even sort of a number, but we want it so that it's reasonably close. About 2 grids away, all the way around. 1.5 to 2. Now this one's definitely a rectangle, a square would be too inefficient, but we need, so we'll just make this one 200. I'm going to unlock that. Well, actually that's alright. So we'll change this one to just 240. So you need to write that down, 200mm by 240, so that it's 240 along the y-axis, and that it is 200mm across the x-axis, so that when we go to put it into the laser cutter, we make sure that it's in that relationship. Okay, now we're going to set up our powers and our speeds. So first I better change that to red. So black. So this is set up from before, 55% power and 8mm a second, and output yes. Blue, which is our outer frame, 10% power, 100mm a second, and no, output is no. Very, very important. And our initials, our text, and our red for text is 15% power and 50mm a second. You can also do a simulation check of this, so click on the computer monitor, preview, and go simulation. Okay, that's working fine. So now that's ready to save. Click on Save to U file. Give it a name. Okay, that's successful. Fantastic, that job is done. It's ready to be taken over to the laser cutter and it can be laser cut out. Just remember that this size here, to write it down, 200 by 240, and you also need to know its orientation in relation to the laser cutter. Thanks for watching another video by Digital Dovetail. Like and subscribe.